We can start now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the fifth day of 21-day mindfulness journey, Mindfulness: The Journey to Greatness by Institute Wellness Group and Reiki Center of Excellence for the Science of Happiness, IIT Kharagpur. So let us welcome our teacher, Saamdu Chetri, to start the session.
Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, everyone who is here with us today. My greetings and love. Please find a comfortable position to sit and let's try to touch ourselves with our mind. Please take your awareness from your feet to head, head to feet, and see if you have any kind of stress, uneasiness, some kind of frowning on your forehead maybe. Just relax. Recognize where that feeling is. Pause for a little moment. Reflect and realize, which means try to find your situation properly. Feel your heart full of love, arise love, and ask your mind to be calm and still. Hello. All the time I have a challenge. Anyway, let's start. Let's begin our session. Soumya, is it visible? Is this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Visible.
Wonderful. I was trying to get it on the screen, but it was not coming. Finally, I have it. Okay. Tomorrow, I'll also try to adjust my camera so that people see my eyes. I think they see it close because camera is up there and I look on the screen. Anyway, friends, sorry for all these hitches. Forgive us. I think our intention is to learn together and not to assess things that are beyond our control. Thank you for the fifth day. Today is 14th of August 2020. It's 5 o'clock after 5. And today's journey that we will take is more to do with the 4 domains of our own body system. But like I promised, today is the last day that I'm going to bring forward to you this sheet, this PowerPoint sheet in front of you, because I think now you should realize that every morning you need to sit on your bed, be grateful to the Mother Earth, then try to put an intention in your mind, see what happened yesterday, think of today, how you're going to take your day forward, and then, of course, meditate for 5 minutes. And then go out, do your regular other works, have your self-affirmation mission statements in most visible areas so that you are reminded all the time to rehearse. Maybe if you want to concentrate on mindfulness, have something with you all the time to remind you. Maybe a thread around your neck, or maybe a band around your hands. Maybe have 3, 4, 5 strings around. When you complete one work, remove that string. So there are a number of ways to remind yourself. And once you are practiced, once you are seasoned, once you are habituated, you don't need to remind because you automatically begin to do that thing yourself. You will miss it, If you don't do that thing one day, you'll feel that you have missed something in your life, and then immediately you'll begin to do it. So please try to follow this, which you will find from first day till the 5th sheet. But from tomorrow, I'm not going to have this sheet to remind you every day. But please remember that habit is created by practice, and practice is created by mindfulness. through reminding ourselves. So you need to be reminding all the time what you think, what you're doing, and how you're feeling must be one. All right? And this is a very important area, because when you're mindful, like I told you again, let me repeat, you're going to nourish your cells in the body, you're going to nourish your mind, which is the brain. I'm talking about the brain. You're going to open up a lot of space for the brain to think, to bring in much more better information than those 47% of bad thoughts that arise in our mind, in our consciousness, because of either an event or because of some kind of circumstances or some kinds of incident. All right. So, dear friends, please follow, try to build your routine, prepare your routine. If you have not done today, how you will do from the time you wake up. I do not want to challenge you to change your biological clock. If you have set a biological clock now, you can continue, or you still have time before the classes start to change your biological clock as well. It is proven through research. Of course, there's a research that says you need 10,000 hours to master something. Now, this mastery of 10,000 hours is complete, perfect expert. But to know things, it just takes us 21 days or 45 minutes practice every day. If you want to play a music that you love, you can just try with that, whatever the instrument is, 45 minutes for 21 days. And I can promise you, you'll pick it up. Language, arts, whatever you can think of, you want to nourish your inner core, which is the passion. Try to bring that passion out and practice now, because that is an opportunity for all of us. All right. So I will not take long time, but please remember that today we will have a mindful meditation that will take us to the connection of beyond our own self, to understand about how we can nourish also by remembering things in our life. Okay, so how do we drink? How do we drink tea, eat food? All that I would come in the meditation later. Please remember communication, your language. Do not have any autobiographical responses. Remember that. Try to uplift yourself with different aspects of understanding by listening deeply. Very important. Please listen deeply, everyone. And please share your heart to your family, or if you're with friends, with your friends. Nothing to hide. Just share completely that arises in your heart. There are a number of advantages for doing this sharing. It lightens you up. If you have pent up feelings, that vanish, that dissolves, and then your mind is free again. Okay, so there are a lot of good things, and something that you have not realized as you speak, you will also realize what it is all about. So there are a lot of different good things in it, friends. So please practice this. Okay, and noble silence is another magic for us. If we practice noble silence, there are many things in noble silence. One is you're not talking to anyone. Number two, you're not talking in your mind to yourself as well. You're trying to be as free from thoughts as possible in your mind. And if you have to talk, then it is some nourishing thought that you'll bring it and talk to your thoughts. But beyond that, don't keep your phones near you. It's also the time to detox yourself from these habits, because this is something that you will realize that takes away a lot of your energy from your mind. Takes a lot of space of your mind. just by thinking about it or by just keeping by the side or working on it very often. So try to remove yourself as much possible out from media, which is especially your phones and the iPads and things like that. Okay. And then body scanning again is connecting yourself with yourself and is going to be marvelous to rejuvenate your own self. So this is the last repetition that I'm going to come. From tomorrow, it will be no repetition. So please bear with me and continue to do this practice. So today's intention. Why do I ask you to create intention? On the first day, if you remember, I said if you have an intention, then you pay your attention to this intention. What does it mean? It means that intention is your energy or is your way, path, and your attention to it is your energy. You give your energy to the intention. So it will nourish you. So if you have an idea, this is what I want to pursue, then if it is from your deep passion, then you get a lot of energy to put forward your time, your resources, your energy for the intention that matters for you. Okay. So today's intention is that I will nurture myself in all 4 dimensions of being. That's my being or your being. That's physical, social, emotional, and spiritual, and mental. Okay, I forgot the spiritual, and spiritual as well. So we'll try to understand what it means, the 4 different domains of our happiness. All right, so let's go to these 4 domains to understand a bit. Sorry, I will correct this. I've forgotten to add spiritual here. Now, spiritual, please forgive me, it is nothing to do with religion. Often, when we talk about spiritualism, we think it is religion, but it is not religion. Spiritual actually comes, the etymology is from the Spanish. I went to Italy, I think then to French, and then to English. It starts with the air. It means the air. So in Bhutan, we define spirituality is to serve others and live in harmony, compassion with others, with nature and yourself. So it's nothing to do with practicing, your culture, your religion. Okay, so it's not religious. The term is not religious. So the usage of this term here is also not religious. Okay. So what are the 4 dimensions or dimensions of ourself? Is the physical, social, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So let's take one by one. Why do we need to take care of our physical self? And how do we take care of our physical self? Okay, the first thing that comes is, of course, definitely the exercise. What is exercise? Exercise is something that you use your 4 limbs and sweat, whatever it is, whether it is a yoga, it's a jogging, or it is some other mindfulness movements that can sweat you. Okay. The exercise that I will teach you, maybe towards the end, if we have time, is a mindful movement. And you can sweat just by being on the spot, on the same place. So why do we exercise? Because, all the time our body is creating cancerous cells. And if we jog, we're killing them, number 1. Number 2, endorphin, which is required, one of the happy chemicals in our body, gets produced in abundance of quantity. And therefore, we are happy. So exercising is very important, very, very important. Something I've forgotten here, I see, is sleep, which I will remember as I talk. So exercise is very important. And you see that every day millions of cells die in our body, which get replaced. All right? They get rejuvenated, they get replenished every day. Many millions of cells. And this is natural because change is inevitable, constant, all the time. Okay? So exercise is very, very important from number of areas. People who do right amount of exercise live long. Proven everywhere. Do not jog too much. If you are a jogger, jogging, I don't know, miles together for an hour every day, then it can be dangerous if you jog over 20, 22 years. There was a research done in America some 20 years ago, and they proved that long-term joggers beyond 20 years, they found that their heart was shifted. The ones that jog more than 23 years, their heart had shifted down by half centimeter. Stomach had shifted down by 1 centimeter. You know why? It's like the shock absorber of the car. Our internal body part, heart, stomach, they are held by membranes. So when you jump too hard for a long time, what happens is your membranes is getting stretched and going back and stretched, going back and stretched. And for a long time, what happens is they stop to go back. Like the shock absorbers of the car, they will start slowly releasing, and then the shock absorber doesn't work, and then your car starts to make sound, thud, 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 as you go into rough roads, So same thing happens with our body. So exercise is very important, my friends. Do exercise, a sweating exercise. Try to use your hands and your legs. These two things are a must in the exercise. I'm not talking about stretching, flexibility, okay? I'm talking about cardiovascular exercises and exercises for the rest of the body. For stretching, you'll have to do additional practices. That's not where I am. The next thing is sleep. I must not forget that. It's not there, but I'll write it there. Sleep is very important. Research has found out that if you do not sleep enough, what happens is your telomeres that actually are responsible for our aging and for passing away, they become shorter. They not shorter. The cancer start to form in that. For a long time, if you're not sleeping enough, then this is the danger. So it is said that deep sleep of 6 hours is very important. If you have a deep sleep of 6 hours, then probably you actually completely rest your body for an hour. And if you're not a light sleeper, you're not a deep sleeper, then 8 hours is a must, because then your body will try to, your brains will try to find a time to just slow down. Now, when you have created your biological order, the body also begins to function accordingly. There are different timings for the body, for the lungs to work, for the liver to work, for the kidney to work. There's original biological setting is different. So in the morning, early morning, actually it is, it's your kidney. In the night until 4 o'clock, 11 to 4 is detoxification that starts taking place. So your kidney and liver are working all the time to detoxify things. And then after 4, it is the time for the liver and the lungs to get working. All right. So which means you have to begin your exercise taking a lot of breath in and out, And then, of course, after 7 o'clock is a time again where you need to begin to think about your stomach, because now there's a need for food to go in. Okay. So there is a biological order. I may be not right now, but you can Google and see for yourself what is your biological order and how could you manage so that all functions of your body are proper. All right. Nutrition. Now on the sleep, It's proven, huh? So if they get cancerous, what happens? The tip of the telomere start to be eaten away and they begin to reduce. And then you start to face problems because you start to become older faster than you should. So it's very important. So there are a lot of things that a human body needs to do. A friend in 2013, when I was going for a talk for GNH in Korea, in Seoul, Indian friend coming from tech industry, we were sitting together to work out on something, a program. And he said, oh, you know what? I would like that at the movement of your eye, everything happens to you. That food comes to you, anything that you desire happens there, then and there. And I thought, wow, that's the end of humanity, because then you are no more human beings. It might be possible after 1,000,000 years, I don't know, if we continue this kind of journey, like shooting people to Mars. Elon Musk is doing this, trying to discover outside of you. Maybe it is possible one day that we can, with our mind, also take care of all our systems in the body. There's a research going on that probably in 25, 30 years down the line, they might be able to find a mechanism not to age and not to die, in other words. But I know that when a human body reaches certain extent, certain time, you do not want to stay longer on the planet, because you would have fulfilled all your journey, life's desires, and I'm sure no one will want to live here for 200, 300, 500, 1,000 years on this planet, looking at the sufferance of so many other things. Anyway, that's an individual question, individual thing. So, okay. And then what you need to do, if you are people like me, sitting on the chair from 4 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock in the evening, every 2 hours you need to take time. Get up out of your chair and then make 5 movements, walking around or pushing your hands up and down. There are a lot of sitting exercise also that you can do for your upper limb of the body. And for 5 minutes, you can close your eyes and take deep breaths in and out. Just meditate. That will relax you completely. After lunch, if you can afford, 20 minutes of nap will bring you back as fresh as you got up in the morning. Okay? And the other thing is stress. Stress is very bad. I think we spoke yesterday that when you are stressed, there is this chemical that's produced, and then your body starts to fight or flight mode, and then it protects your cells, and what begins to work is only your hands and feet, and the rest is just kind of locked. So too much of stress, when you cross the level, the midpoint or the median of stress, then you are getting into depression after that. So stress to a certain extent is very important. We need to have stress in life, because if you have stress, then you work. If you don't have stress, you're not going to work. Okay, so certain amount of stress is good, but not too much of stress. So this we need to manage. And managing stress is, again, very simple things that we are doing every day. Close your eyes, connect with your body from toe to head, float with your breathing in and out, feel the breathing with you, and take deep breaths in and out, complete stress calming. This is the only way out, my friends. All this that we just talked about before the stress helps us to also do away with stress. All right, on the social and emotional well-being or dimension, what do we need to do? We need to constantly deposit in our emotional bank account. EBA stands for emotional bank account. How can we do that? Imagine that if someone reacted in the family to you or spoke a bad word to you, over and over, even if it was your own father, after a while you start to dislike the person. You see? Although you love, but you begin to dislike the person. It's not the person you dislike, it's the character of the person you dislike. But our perception takes, oh, I don't like him. So we connect to the person. But if your father woke up in the morning, caressed you, blessed you, said beautiful words, agreed with anything that you wanted, then what happens? Your thought for your father will skyrocket. For that matter, with your friends, anyone, good words, loving words, listening to others, all this add to helping others, in times of need, even otherwise, touching their lives through any mechanism actually does contribute to adding to your emotional bank account. Now, I believe, I can't prove you scientifically, but I believe, and I think science is working towards it, that we all have somewhere in the universe a pot of our own. So when we put our emotional, good emotions into the bank balance, into the pot gets filled. Okay. When it is filled, good things will come back to you, because when the pot is filled, it overflows. When it overflows, where does it go? Because it is connected with you, it will come back to you. We also believe that, let's think that the pot is almost full with your emotional bank account, and you did one bad thing. Then it will slide down by 6 to 9 steps. And for every one step up, you'll have to do 5 good things. That's the belief we carry. Okay. So if you are positive all the time, the outlook, your perceptions are real. Not that what you see is real. It's not necessary. You know, if a young girl came here and hugged me now and gave a broad smile to me, many might think, oh, look at this old man with beard. He has a young girlfriend, without knowing. That could be my daughter. You see? So, you see, perceptions give you unreal picture. It sensitizes you. It brings a feeling in your mind. So you need to cross-check your perception all the time to go to the reality. And unless you do that, we will always go wrong. Because what I perceive on a same target, different people can perceive differently. Like 2 days ago, I presented the fruit tree and I asked you and I told you, how does a carpenter look at it, how does a farmer look at it, and how does a woodcutter look at it. They all have different perception for one object, and is same with all of us. It is a practice. We need to bring awareness again. So mindfulness journey is so very important, my friends. We need to walk with this journey all the time. So that's how we inculcate our emotional and social being, all right? Because it's with others, we develop relationship in this. The higher the relationship, the bigger the circle of influence that we can create around us, the higher we rise in our lives. So that's emotional bank account. Oh, sorry. So what is then the mental? Mental, we have, constantly you need to create a mental growth. Unless you want to become, jittery and frustrated as you grow old in life, you would see, 70 years old people who don't read much, who not doing any particular thing to come to develop their mind. They have holes in their brains, mind you. And it is also possible to bring back these holes and not to be jittery, to be forgetful, and to be shaky in old age. You need to do these things, and you need to begin now. Reading is not about your topics, your books, your study books. I'm talking about some great inspirational reading. You need to learn to write. We have forgotten, we type all the time. It's 2 fingers, 1 finger, or your 5 fingers on the computer board. We have forgotten to write. Because when you write with your hand, then you're connecting your body, mind, and and your thoughts together. So it's a beautiful exercise. Writing is a beautiful exercise. All right. We need to constantly learn new things in life. Every time something that comes to us is new. If we don't block our mind with judgment, with assessment, with evaluation, all these kinds of things, then we are open to anything. And every time somebody talks, there is a learning. There's always a learning. So the first important thing is we need to unlearn. Whenever we listen to somebody, if judgments begin to flow, you should say, no, I don't know, I'm listening. I don't know, why should I make a judgment? So you need to learn. And every time you listen, you learn. Studying, which is a part of your life, you need to do this because if you study, you also nourish your mind. Your brains become bit better, more, they go to a next level altogether. Listen to uplifting music. Okay, this is very, very important, very important. Few things. There may be other things that you can do to develop your mental being. Meditation definitely is, but I put that in the spiritual being. Definitely, when you meditate, in fact, meditation helps us get all the four chemicals in our body: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. The four chemicals, they do arise in our body, produce in our body through mindfulness meditation practices. Okay. So under the spiritual being dimension, what do? We need to serve others. Very important. Research also proves that people who serve, as compared to their peers, they are much happier and live longer. See, we need to learn to clarify values because often we don't do. And perception takes strong hold in this because we only observe and we believe what we see. So you need to understand what you see may not be necessarily true, and you need to clarify your values and celebrate them. One example, out of maybe several examples that are there, that comes to my mind is, like, I have heard that Hindus criticize Islam, saying that, oh, they turn to the west to pray, and while we turn to the east to pray. Maybe Islam does the same. They say, oh, Hindus, look, they do opposite us. They turn to the east and we turn to the west. Now, if you understand the differences, why we do this, then the person who thinks this will no more think, because Hindus turn to the east to bow down to sun, the energy, the light that brings us new transformation every day. So they are going down to the sun god, the element sun, the energy, Agni, okay? Then to the west, Islam is turning down because from India, Mecca is in the west. So they are going down to Mecca, and so they are forming themselves to the west. Now, if we know this, we will never criticize one another. Rather, we will clarify our values and celebrate our differences, okay? Spiritual also, you need to see the nature. Nature is a part of spirituality. And of course, you need to read inspirational literature too, also to gain your spiritual. So you see, in the spirit and mental, there is not a big difference. One is the energy, other one is the vibration. Without the vibration, energy can't move, and energy is useless without the vibration, because it gets locked in a place. So I think they are so intertwined. It's very difficult to separate one from another, but I try to do that here. I'll maybe put them in a proper order, and when I share the slides. All right, anyway. And meditation definitely is a part of spirituality and mindfulness. Nature is a big part of spirituality because we are a part of nature. All our energy, all our focus, our connections is in the nature. So even if you have little time to go out to the nature or look at the nature and appreciate that, or take a walk in the nature, or if that is not possible, then watch a television on nature for, I don't know, 15 minutes to nourish yourself. These are very important parts of our journey in life. It's so very important that we have to take care of these four dimensions of our body. And if we can do take care of these four dimensions in our body, the rest can flow. The rest can naturally come in because you've taken care of yourself. So your study and your achievement, greater achievement, is not far away from you. All right, friends, so let's get into our meditation for the day. So it's a mindfulness meditation that a gratitude meditation that I'll take you through. Find your place, comfortably sit. Let me call the bell. As you listen to the bell, sit comfortably with eyes dropped or closed, your back straight, chin slightly tucked in, without stress on your neck, lips closed, tongue lightly touching the upper palate, teeth not biting, shoulders relaxed as you watch your breath in and out. Feel the energy enter from the center of your palms. If you have them open upwards, let us take deep breaths in and out. As we take in, hold it for 3 seconds and breathe out slowly and hold it for 3 seconds. Make a complete circle of 12 seconds of breath. Let's begin. 3, 2, 1, go. Hold it for 3 seconds. Slowly release it. Take maybe 5 seconds to release it. Hold it for 3 seconds. Take a deep breath again. Take 4 seconds to breathe in. Hold it for 3 seconds. And breathe out slowly, taking 5 seconds. Hold it for 3 seconds. Take another deep breath in. Hold it there for 3 seconds. And slowly breathe out. Okay, please feel calm and relaxed. And take your awareness to the feet. Feel the sole of your legs, of your feet. Wriggle your toes a bit. Feel the ankles, your calf muscles, thighs, and ask the entire legs to soften and relax. Thank them for carrying you to the places of love and need since you started to walk on them. Straighten your lower back and upper back and relax your shoulders. Feel the hands on your lap or knees or on your inner lap or thighs and ask them to soften and relax. And thank them for enabling you to carry, touch, feel, give, receive, embrace, write, and so on. Move your awareness to your neck. Lightly, slightly move it, gently move it to find the right position for it and relax the neck. Move your tongue in your mouth, feel the upper palate, teeth in front. Move your jaws left to right and feel relaxed. Take your thoughts and focus to your head and see if the mind is judging or distracted. Pause, recognize whatever it is doing, and realize by asking the mind to be still, clear, calm, and peaceful. Now take your awareness to your heart and see what the heart is doing. Pause there, recognize the feelings in the heart. See if it is agitated or any negative feelings it's holding now. Be aware of it and realize it. And just let it go and relax. Arise love, joy, and peace that has no boundary, exception, but it is pure, humble, inclusive, and profound. Please bring your body, mind, and speech in perfect oneness and imagine your loved one or loved ones and send your heart along, wishing them acceptance, truth, love, joy, peace. May they be awakened from forgetfulness and transcend the path of worry, anxiety, sorrow, or unwholesome memories. Please continue to keep your mind calm. And now let us imagine that it is time to eat. Imagine you are in a hostel, a border. You are now preparing to go for your food. You begin to take your mindful steps towards the dining hall, following every step, feeling as if you're touching the Mother Earth and kissing her with your feet. Gently, you are proceeding to the dining hall. As you proceed, you feel grateful for everything you can think, feel, and see around. Everything seems to be in abundance. There are friends around. You put a smile on your face and greet them. With a nod and continue your journey for the food. You see the buffet table is laid with varieties of food. You go down to the plate, being grateful and thinking, unlike millions today, you have the opportunity to eat today. You thank all those who prepared it. You gently pick the plate up and spoon and scan with your eyes the varieties laid on the buffet table. You start to fill your plate very mindfully, choosing only those food that will nourish you without bringing harm to others and the planet Earth. You love all the greens, lentils, mushrooms, soya, beans, onions, and other food that is grown on or under the ground. You mindfully put the food in your plate and carry it to the table. As you walk to the table, you are verifying the food amount, which you confirm is right, some salad in it, and fruits to go with the food. You sit and wait for others to join you on the table. Some of them were already sitting on the table. When chairs get filled, you go down to the friends sitting on the table with folded hands. Then you prepare a morsel food. As you put the food in your mouth, you keep your hands on the table or on your lap and start chewing. With every bite, you connect yourself to the rain, the shade, the sun, the moon, the earth, farmers, their loving work, hard work, who have contributed their abundance of love, their hard work, including the ones who prepared the food today. It tastes so nourishing in the mouth. By the time you thought all these people who made it for you to enjoy this food, you have chewed 27 times now. You then gently swallow the food and begin preparing another morsel. You put the next morsel in your mouth and again keep your hands away from the table plate and thank the universe for allowing you to transform the unwholesome mind and to learn to eat in moderation. Your plate of food, which you have carefully chosen, brings no harm to anyone, other people, animals, insects, even plants, and it is healthy for every cell of your body. You feel it. You do not eat your food for the taste of the tongue, which is secondary to you, but first you always consider its nourishment to your body as a whole. You gently swallow the food with nourishing, nutritious taste, and again begin to prepare another morsel. You again put the food in your mouth and begin to process all over again. You are grateful to the food that develops you with understanding and builds you to be a better human being, filled with love and gratitude. You made sure that not a single food piece is left on the plate. You wonder about those who have no meal today and pray in your mind that they also receive your love and compassion, and wish them that they also receive, like you, an opportunity to nourish their bodies. Your friends sitting with you on the table ask you, why do you not eat meat and dairy products? You tell them the harm that both of these brings, first to the animals, second to the planet Earth, and how we are diseased with chemicals in them. And the proteins from them actually makes us diabetic and cancerous. They laugh about it and talk about how are your ancestors about eating them. You are telling them that the times have changed, and you encourage them to do research in the area and provide them with a link for them to easily search. You look at the glass of water and go down to it with love, pick it up and say in your mind, looking into it, dear water, please enter into me with kindness, love and joy, and nourish and rejuvenate every cell of my body. You instantly feel the water percolating inside your each cell, making you alive and giving you a very soothing and happy feeling. You now slowly and gently, without disturbing the friends on the table, excuse yourself and go for a cup of tea. You're back with the tea. You hold it in your hands, look into it. Your friends are intrigued by what you are doing. You explain them that you are smelling an aroma of the tea. Now you're looking deep into the tea to see the clouds for the water, sugar fields, farmers, tea gardeners, cows in the field for the whitener, and you take a sip, roll it in your mouth, and gently swallow it. In the beginning, friends thought you were weird, but slowly over the time, they realized that it is the only way of mindful journey and the practice. The practice that grounds us and makes us creative, intelligent, and makes us aware of everything in our breathing movement, they also begin to follow you. You finished eating and now you go down to the plate in gratitude. You felt nourished, happy, and healthy. You gently stood from the table, thanking your friends. You bring the plate to the washing place and thank those behind cleaning it in the kitchen. And now you walk mindfully back to your next destination. Please bring back your awareness to your body. Take deep and slow breaths. Open your eyes halfway. Rub your hands, massage your legs, take few mindful breaths, and gently, completely open your eyes, filled with love and compassion. Okay, friends, we're coming to the end of our journey. But before that, as I always do, let us do our happiness song. Before that, I need to wish you, may you all be happy and well, free from fear and any danger. May you bring happiness to the lives you touch, because happiness is in giving, not for the self. When you give out, you're much more happy. So when you touch the lives of others, generally you make others happy and you become happy. May you bring unconditional love to others and be loved and cared for. That is where the joy is. All right, so let's sing our happiness song and then we call the day off. 3, 2, 1, go. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. And I'm not in a hurry. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do. But I'm not in a hurry. Tashidelek, I wish you all the time auspiciousness in your lives, in your family lives. Lots of love to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we can start with the question answers. We have few questions. One question from the comments today is by Just Jai Singhani.
Sorry, come again.
So, am I audible?
Yeah, I just missed that part.
Yes, sir. Today's question is from Just Jai Singhani.
Okay.
Just asks, sir, what exactly do you mean by vibrations? I have observed this use of the term quite often. Like, is it similar to vibration of the cell phone? It would be great to have some clarification. So I guess he's asking about the quantum physics references. So
Right.
could you elaborate?
When I say vibration, I'm talking about the frequency. You know, all our body, all our parts, they vibrate. And this vibration is the energy which moves in a frequency. Okay, so vibration, through the vibration, the resopaths, what they do, they connect one rod in your hand, an electrical, light current, and they have a machine. And then they can talk through the machine, through that electrical circuit to every part of your body to see if any part of the body has a defuncting cells in the body. So it happens through the vibration, because the vibration that I refer is the energy, okay? The energy that I'm referring to. So vibration and energy for me means the same. The frequency is the path that it travels through. So if you remember, if you were there some days ago, let me just share this. Then you would have understood what I'm referring to. Vibrations is not the kind of phone that makes darr, but it does in a different frequency. The vibration that comes here has a different frequency, which is more at the material plane, but the frequency that speak about is, where is it? All right, here it is much more much more the spiritual design frequency. Okay, let me just share this, and then maybe what happened now? Again, too big. All right, I'm sure it's visible, but maybe it's a bit small. Where is this? Oh no, that's sharing. Can you see this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So you see, this is the vibration that I speak about, the frequencies, you know. So vibration is the energy, and this is the level of how our frequency moves. Shame is at 20, and peace is at the highest level at 600. Beyond that, we start to enter into the complete enlightenment. This is what the quantum physics talks about. Okay, so this is the vibration, Hertz, vibration scale. That's the frequency that we refer to. The energy that flows through the frequency is what the vibration we are referring to. Now, this is proven, quite proven by the quantum physics. All right. So, is that okay?
Yes, sir. I think that should suffice. Sir, I would like to clarify, is there reference to this in Michio Kaku's book?
Yes, to a great extent. He has not brought these levels, but then he speaks about if we can vibrate at a similar frequency like like um, mm, like dinosaurs, then we can see them today. That's what he talks in his book. So I'm sure as a engineer, you know, when you hit on the tongue, it vibrates, right? But because of vibration, it makes the frequency, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So our vibration here is more to do with the energy level that we garner in ourselves.
Okay, thank you, sir. So the next questions are from the form. One question is from Raktim. He asks how to deal with people with negative thoughts or opinions.
Well, I think this question has been repeated.
Yeah. Yes,
but
sir. Nevertheless,
nevertheless, let me answer. In the first place, why do you need to connect with the people with negative emotions? You know? Rather, they have negative emotions because they are suffering. The best that we can do for such kind of people is actually to close your eyes and send loving kindness. The first day we started with loving kindness. So the loving kindness I send you at the end every day. You know, may you be well, may you be happy. Now you know that this friend is negative because of certain reasons. You might have found some reasons. Some reasons could be he's very jealous of you because you're better than him or something, you know. So what you can do is you can send, dear, you can imagine the friend in your mind and send him the message, dear friend, may you always be successful, better than me, you know, greater than me. May you be happy all the time. May you always be positive in your mind. See, this kind of positive messages you can send. It might sound foolish or funny now, but when you're able to do, number one, it is the acceptance that you bring to your heart, and then you are becoming empathic towards his sufferings, which means you are growing bigger, greater in your own progression of human holistic development. Okay, so over the time, what happens is because you are passing your positive energy, it vibrates, it goes. Because you have already sent that energy. When you look at that person, you are going to look with positivity. You're going to look with love for him or her. Then what happens? They become to transform because of your good frequency, which they receive in their bad frequency, like what I just showed you. From lower level, their frequency, your frequency merges with them, and they start to vibrate with your frequency, and they align with you very easily. So this is how you can do. Number one, of course, you don't have to participate in what they're saying in your mind, although you can look at them blankly, but don't take it as a gift. If they're throwing some tantrums on you, just think that it is theirs. They are in problem. They are suffering. Feel sorry for them. Feel sorry for them, and that's the truth. That's the truth. When someone is suffering, they are angry. When someone is suffering, they are very jittery. When someone is suffering, they fire you, they scold you, all kind of negative things starts to flow in that person. So when a person is very negative and you connect with him or her, then what happens? Your positivity, even if you are very high in the frequency, when you change your frequency, you also fall low. And that's where you begin to suffer. That's how the black magic actually is practiced. The fright is brought to you, and then what I want, or that black magician wants that person to change, that kind of thing is brought, and I practice in my mind. I visualize the person, and I keep on sending these bad messages out to him. Then I change his frequency or her frequency. This is highly possible because we are in the frequency. We vibrate all the time. We're living in vibration, in the frequency. So this is possible. And the best way is acknowledge that the person is not a great guy. Don't compare with yourself. Like the lady said, can I compare and feel I'm better than that person? Don't do that, because then you're becoming egoist. Feel sorry for the person and say that maybe he or she is right from their own perception. So be it. I'm right in my own perception. So you don't have to really juggle through and get angry and annoyed like them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. So one more question. The viewer asks, Anirban asked, so can you please distinguish veg and non-veg foods? Example, plants are also have life, so how to differentiate? Basically, he is probably asking why to differentiate between veg and non-veg food when all forms are actually living.
Yes. You see, when a rice is harvested, it is already ripened. What does ripen mean? Fruits are plucked when they're ripe. What does it mean? Much of the food that comes to you, to us on our table, is already dead, ready for consumption. We are not murdering them. I can give you a living example. When I was in Australia, working in a farm for some time, in Switzerland, working in a farm for some time meaning for a week, two. In Australia was the longest. I worked 3 weeks. In Switzerland, I worked for 10 days in a farm. When you go to the plants, for example, green leaves, you need to pluck them. When you talk to them, to the plants, they understand you. When you say, I need you, I have come to harvest for my need, please forgive me. They readily give you. It tastes even good. So they can listen to you. And they are growing for somebody. In the interdependence, they know that they are growing for somebody. Okay? The green grass out knows that the cows, goats will come and eat them up. And they are growing for that matter. And they are always resilient, growing all the time. All right? So in the vegetables, in the food that's non-vegetarian part, much of our food that comes to our table is ripened, which means they are already prepared themselves to give it away to others who want it. Okay. Some of these which are still in their young fold, like the green vegetables, anything that's green that you need to pluck before it dies, they know that they are building up for somebody, and when you ask them, they readily allow you to pick it up. What I did in Australia, not in Switzerland, but in Australia, it was the vegetable garden farm that I was working and living in the farm itself. So I told the farmers, let's all every morning come and pray. When the sunlight falls on them, we pray, we talk to the plants saying that we love you and all that. And when we pluck, we also take their permission and pluck. You will not believe that when we started to then, we made a market in such a way that we went home door to door to deliver in the first place. Then we started to get orders because, they became much more tastier. And the plants that we took permission from and brought to them remained fresh longer, and they were much more tastier. The same vegetables that we plucked. Okay. Now this might sound very weird, but believe me, we don't know many things in life. What we know in science is so very little. We know nothing, really nothing. So there are so many things we need still to learn. And I don't know in 1 million years if we learn everything that the universe actually has in store for us. But meat, killing animals, every life, like the plant, they also fear. I know trees, especially. You go to the tree to cut. There are equipments and machines you can measure them, how much they fear they have. Because they don't want to die. Trees are for a longer period of time. But go and pray to them and ask their permission. They suffer much, much less. The machine can show that reaction. All right. Animals, every animal fears death. They know when they are brought to the slaughterhouse, they know that they're going to be killed. Now, there is a fear factor. When there's a fear factor, what happens is the negativity starts in that animal, and unhappy chemical is released in the body of the animal. Okay, so this unhappy chemical we eat nourishingly. We find a lot of taste in it, and we eat. That's one problem. The major problem today is not more. It's not those days we hunted fresh animals from the forest that ate all the good plants, had nourishing, meat that you could bring, and hunting was not unaware hunting. So they didn't know when you killed them. So the chances of, bad chemicals flowing in their body was very limited. But we have evolved over time. Now the dairy and the meat is an industry. These both are two different industries. Poultry is an industry. You'll not believe of the entire arable land on this planet, which if you divide, every individual 7.5 billion people can have 2 hectares of arable land actually. So land is not in shortage. But 80% of this land is used only for dairy and meat industry. Can you believe? And none of this is required for our body. Number one, all animals are fed with feed. Feed is chemical. I'll give you an example. In Nepal, all the vultures started to die because Nepalis are Hindus or Sanatan Dharma. Hindu is a bad term actually, which was produced later. It doesn't, actually Sanatan Dharma is the right term. They don't eat, cow is a god for Hindus. So they throw it away and vultures come and eat. Now what happens for the cows to get better milk? You also shoot with steroids so that they give you more milk. You feed chemicals as a feed and you also give steroids for more milk. When they die, they are chemicals. So when the vultures eat, they die. And now, the foreigners understood this and they have a project now. They take away, not buy, because anybody wants to give the old cow, it's become a liability for them. You have to provide grass and all that. So they easily give away the old cows to this foundation. The foundation takes them and it takes 5 complete years to detoxify the cow. Then after that, it's fed to the vultures. Now vultures started to come back into the population of Nepal. So you see, all this meat industry is totally chemical, and we're eating chemical. So that's why if you Google and look for aging, there's a huge research done by medical school of science in University of California, with proofs. You can be diabetic after, of course, not immediately. If you ate one or twice, it's not that. You can be diabetic after a certain time of eating those products, and you can be cancerous. And they have also proven, Dr. Campbell, who did this study, actually the study started in India. It was an Indian scientist who found this, but all the time, some research that's done in India is never multiplied, never goes out. So somehow it dies. Somebody picks it up and takes all the name and all the fame anyway. Anyway, similar thing had happened. So he's done millions of research, and he just can flip cancer, no cancer, diabetic, no diabetic, just by changing the food habits. You know that Bill Clinton was also undergoing heart surgery almost when he came on a book. And then he invited these doctors and changed his food habits, and he didn't have to undergo surgery. He's totally, perfectly a great, healthy person today by being a vegan. You will not believe that American footballers who are known as rugby players, huge guys, giant guys, they have become vegan. Most of them have become vegan. They realize their agility is better, their thinking is better, and the food, the non-veg food, the vegetarian food, let's put it this way, gives even better protein to your body. So there's enough protein. What doctors wrote in the right for us to eat meat and all that, that is totally driven by the books, which is approved by big giants, big organizations that control the medical world. Just get into this medical world and do a little research. You'll get surprised how doctors were bought to just sign some proofs that were not proven. Why do you think WHO, is kind of approves everything and we believe on it? And why do you think Donald Trump just stopped financing them? There are a lot of questions we can ask. Okay, why is Bill Clinton doing these things? Why is he trying to bring vaccines in? There's another theory altogether, but we should not get into that theory, because what comes onto the net, many of it is not believable. Something that is believable is something that you can translate right with reasoning, then only try to believe. Anyway, so meat and dairy are industries, and they are both very harmful for our body. And that's why I say, please don't eat. Please don't eat. It's not true that by eating them, you'll be healthy and happy. There's a train that goes from Punjab to Ajmer called the death train. It's totally cancer patients that go there. All cancer patients. The whole train is filled with cancer patients. And of course, people said, researchers said, it's because of the chemicals they use on the land, and the chemical gets into the water underground. And this is the chemical oriented. I would fully agree. That's one. The food becomes chemical, number two, because they are totally using genetically modified seeds to have greater harvest, and it needs all the time chemicals. Okay, and then they are highly dairy based people, and they love meat as well. So they have all the ingredients to get this cancer in their bodies. So that's why I try to say eating meat has much more long reason why you should not eat meat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I think we are quite late. Can you just shortly address one question, which is actually asked by two users? One from the form, Sir Rahul. Rahul asks how to deal with chronic illness. And today, in today's live stream, Akansha Anand has asked, Sir, I'm suffering from spondylitis from over 2 years. I feel very stressed whenever my pain increases. Uh, don't know, but my mood depends a lot on my health, and I overthink a lot due to this. I feel stressed thinking that if my disease doesn't get cured, how can I live an independent life with my parents some 20 years after? Do guide, sir.
Um,
You can
well, I
quickly go.
think what was the first question was on?
The first question was also about sir, chronic illness. Like
Chronic illness. Okay.
suffering from chronic illness.
Okay. So the illness can be very different for different people, you know. Let me tell you that as a child of 11 years old, I fell from a height of 12 feet on my back. And the sponge between the vertebra 3 and 4 is broken inwards, flown inwards, and it has reduced and dried. I'm told not to hope and jump because if that breaks, my lower part is paralyzed. And I know because of this compact, the vertebra number 4 actually is jutting inwards, and the MRI indicates that the spine is pressed. The moment now I get the pain because now I'm talking about it. I'm getting aware. So now I'm getting pain. So one thing is to be aware of it, that you have it and you learn to live with it. But chronic illness, some of the illness can be cured very easily. Like, tumor on the brain can be cured with your mindful meditation. When you focus on it and say that I'm fighting over it, I'm killing all the disease of this. I know it's eliminating, I know it's reducing, I'm feeling better, I'm getting stronger, I'm better. This kind of positive thoughts in your mind is going to help you a lot. When it comes to spondylitis, now this is to do with, of course, the structure of your back. I know of a friend, a very senior citizen in the country, who also is a very well-known ambassador, was an ambassador to the permanent mission in New York, had also similar problem. You need to strengthen your back muscles. Very important. So try and learn swimming. Swimming 20 minutes, 30 minutes every day can really get you to where you are. Now, spondylitis can be of a regional or it can be of the throat, whole body structure, but all chronic diseases have some kind of effect and some kind of problems. Unless I know exactly what, and I'm not a medical person, so it will be very difficult for me, but to tell you what is right. But from my perspective, it's all to do with the kind of food we eat, the kind of exercise we do, the kind of relaxation we do, the kind of sleep we have. All this matter in rejuvenation of your own self, in whatever chronic illness that we are. So somebody is very chronically in problem with diabetics. So I did a little research on my own, and I've cured 5-6 people thus far totally. Now they're not dependent on on insulin. Otherwise, every half a day or something, they have to push in insulin in their body, take a lot of medication. So everything is possible. It is your will, number one. Number two, to find the right mechanisms to go with it. So physical, mental, spiritual, your emotional, all must come together, okay, to find a path for yourself. Sorry, I can't prescribe one path, but these are the components that you need to look into and try and find a path for your own self. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think that will be a good note to end on. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
viewers,
my dear
for joining
friends,
us.
my love, my gratitude to all of you. May God be always with you. Thank you.